What's going on, everyone? It's David Palmer, Leo King. Oh, how are we on sound here? Ooh. Doesn't look like it's that loud. We're going to have to see what's going on here. Hope everybody's doing good. It's been a minute since I was on YouTube Live. I've actually been doing so much stuff and so many things going on in the world and the universe. Oh, my gosh. But, getting back to the basics here. Oh, come on, really? Here we are. Sound recording. We want that, and we want the levels are full. Can you guys hear me okay? I don't know if people can hear me or not. I am alive. What, did people start to not think that I was alive or something? Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been quite a journey lately, I'll admit, for I think a lot of us, but actually it's been going pretty good. Okay, good. Yeah, I was all tripping there. I'm like, is this thing working? Yeah, so we're good. So yeah, lots to kind of talk about. Number one, I think that the main thing is we are entering Scorpio season. And just what's going on in the next couple weeks with this Scorpio season, this Venus retrograding over the sun, this full moon in Taurus with Uranus, and the big grand fixed cross with the nodes, Saturn and Venus, Saturn and the sun and sextile this week. And then we move into next week with Venus coming out of Scorpio, back in Libra, Uranus getting ready to come back into Aries, the nodes switching back into Cancer, Capricorn after 18 years. Then we got, it's overwhelming how much stuff is going to happen so fast, But I think that the main thing really here for everybody to start to talk about, and I'm going to be looking at the chat, and I do want to answer some questions here, is one, there's a lot going on. So, if you thought that maybe some of the stuff that we've been going through and the way that life has been going has just kind of maybe stalled or put you in no man's land, this end of Libra has totally been a lot of processing. I don't think that Libra gets enough credit in the positive, because it's important in big times in our life when Saturn's in Capricorn for us to weigh out a lot of options, to weigh out the good, the bad, the ugly, the amazing in our life, and where we think is the place that we want to kind of target. I think Libra helps us target better. That's why Saturn is exalted in Libra. So, this whole entire kind of Libra transit that we've gone through has actually been very beneficial, even though it could feel like, whoa, I'm up here, and then no, I'm going to do this. And, it's very topsy-turvy, but it's important for us to go through those, notions, I guess you could say, to make sure that we're truly in alignment with that, So, Scorpio season alone is going to be really powerful just for the fact that we are going through such a transition that we're ready to go through. And I think it's extremely positive to be real. It's just, about allowing it to happen and I think targeting right now what you need to change in your subconscious soul. And what I mean by that is the stuff that's been holding you back from truly living the most beautiful life. And we have this kind of deep question of what that is. What side do we pick? Do we go this way? Do we go that way? Is that really what I really want? Or is that really what I want? That's a confusing place right now. But I think that, past life regression helps at times like these. So your stuff. I think looking at your chart and looking at your South Node and looking at the house it's in and looking at where your past life stuff really sits, looking at your own Saturn, looking at, these past life scenarios and how they're coming to this point and the decisions and the changes that we are making in our lives about this stuff is super important for us to know. Because if we don't get a grip completely about what's going on truly within our subconscious or our soul, kind of patterns that really go back before this life, then you know what? Then we might just go enter into a choice where we've done it before, and we're going to be that person again, and we're going to live that whole cycle again, and we're going to have to go through it all over again in another life or something. And I personally don't want to go through that shit no more. You know what I mean? Like I personally don't. So I've used this Libra season extremely to really process. Okay, I know that there's this road and I know that there's that road. And what are the benefits of both? And which one keeps me on my best light path? Like, that's the main thing. What keeps you on the best light path? Because sure, there's a road that looks really good right now, that's very self-satisfying, but has more possibilities of taking you off your light path. Then there's a road that might feel like, there's a lot of work here and it's not as easy. In order to get the sweetness that I want, might not be easy, but it does keep me on my light path. And you know what? Maybe this is really about overcoming a lot of deep rooted past life self, I'm going to say it, like, we are demolishing beautiful worlds. And at the same time, we can also be demolishing worlds that we thought were beautiful, but really they weren't, So there's a lot there. I mean, there's so much to be looked at deep inside, that this has not been a process where you just automatically know, like you honestly think, and then, whoa, wait. And that's the whole Uranus opposition that's going on with the sun. That's going to happen here with Venus retrograde. That's going on with this full moon in Taurus, where Taurus is the moon exalted and Uranus is at fall. There's this wide, beautiful world of stability. But Scorpio is like, oh, wait, what can I do to kind of get what I want without having to do the work to build it? Got to remember that Taurus are massive builders. They're manifestors. They take their time, but they build the ultimate quality. That's why, like this jacket, is probably worth a little more because there was a little put more into it than just kind of slopping some jacket together and getting it out, right? Like, that's why Taurus does take a little bit more time, and it is better quality, but Scorpio is immediate quality, immediate what you need, but then it kind of doesn't last, And so we have to kind of look with Saturn and Capricorn, and we especially have to look with Uranus and Taurus, and especially since, even though it's coming back into Aries, when it comes back next year into Taurus, you got to remember, holy moly, we're jumping back into a massive Earth aspect of longevity. And so when you look at your shadow work right now, and you look at your Scorpio stuff, and you look at your desires, and you look at your wants, and you look at your sexual side, and you look at your hunger, and you look at your edge, and you look at all this stuff, where can you get that on a beautiful path still? And that's the deep question, because I think that people are afraid to realize that we have a very heightened aspect right now in the astrology of self-desire. Okay, this is massive fixed energy. This is the finalization of the Leo Aquarian, nodal axis. This is Uranus at 0 degree of Taurus. This is a big full moon in Taurus with the sun and Venus that are literally almost within a couple days after the full moon, just bam, crossing. This is, Mars, which has been in this crazy retrograde season where it's finally come back online, and it's in a fixed sign Aquarius, right? And it's coming to the point to the opposition of where the eclipse was at 18 degree Leo during this whole entire period this week of all the stuff going on. So I think that it's super important for us to realize, like, we are jumping truly 100% into whatever we want to call it. A lot of people love to use this Venus retrograde rhetoric and retell the whole story as if they're like this savior of astrology. Like, we all know the 40-day, 40-night, like going into the underworld, and it's a beautiful story and la da 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 da, but we all heard it a million times. Okay. We get it. But this one's different just for the fact that Saturn is in Capricorn while it's happening. Okay. It's a big deal. Uranus is in Taurus. This is the first time in hundreds of years for Venus retrograde to oppose Uranus exactly in Taurus. Okay. Over 100 years. At least. We were doing the math last week on deep astrology, and it's crazy when you do the math. So this one's different. And this one's dealing at a time in which darkness on the planet and internally has to be weeded out in all of us. Okay. And it is very easy right now for us to get caught up in what seems like the best thing for us to do, but really might be more just self-serving and might actually not be truly in alignment with light, but be shaded or be colored in a way that makes us feel like it is more light. And we got to deal with the truth within that and find partnerships, friendships, and people that we can reflect, create, and be real and showcase that stuff out of our true, we all have our dark sides. We all have our sins, whatever you want to call it. We all have these parts of ourselves that are coming up very intensely, to be real. But, are we willing to really look at that in the face and actually find a way to control it to get the mission on this planet done? Or did you just come down here to go play on Earthland and ravage the place for what your own needs are? Just ravage it. Just Scorpio. Just be like that freaking, dinosaurs in Jurassic Park and just run through the park and just eat everything. Is that what we're going to choose? Or is there a controlled way to still have that edge that we want and that deep desire we want, but the work that we got to go through deep inside to get there and realize that there's a mission and what's aligned with our mission is pretty clear, and the people we associate with because this is Aquarian South Node. This is Mars in the South and Aquarius. So what we identify as the people, the teammates, we're finishing up in here in Libra. We got Venus retrograding back in Libra. The choices we make of partnerships, are they really in alignment with that true essence of who we really are, of our true self-worth, of our true alignment, of our true mission? Like, where are you at in your life? And where is somebody else at in theirs? And does it really fit? Because we can get convoluted during this Venus retrograde of thinking that this looks great. This looks like this could be exactly what I want. But really, when you actually take a step back and you pull back, you go, does this really, really, really work? Is this really on the level of who I am and who you are? And is this really gonna work? Is this really going to be on the mission? Because we can get, somebody just said, don't be fooled by 3D, which is a very good way to put it. We could get totally fooled really quick into stuff, really fast. And I think that it's super important for us to not get lost in how we could get really caught up in our own kind of selfish, sorry about that. My phone is going off like crazy. Just crazy text messages. Again, getting distracted by 3D. We can get really overwhelmed with our desires right? Like being a vampire has to learn to control the vampire. Or then if you watch Blade, which is like my favorite series, like Blade like has to learn to control even his own thirst to become a vampire killer, right? Okay. With Saturn and Capricorn, there's a need to control our thirst. And instead of capitalize massively on our thirst. And that's what I've been coming up with through this Libra shit, because the Libra season was very clearly orchestrated. And of course, everything's all orchestrated perfectly in divineness from the universe, like in such a way that it blows my mind, for thousands and thousands and eons and infinity, all predetermined. But there is this magical reason why we had Libra season with Venus retrograde in Scorpio, Mercury enter Scorpio, Jupiter in Scorpio, you know, the moon that went through Scorpio, right? Like on top of Venus retrograde, like there was this realization that you have this want, you have this deep, edgy need. But this Uranus and Taurus and this full moon that comes this week is going to remember that Uranus is the one that shows the higher realms. And when it's in Taurus, it's the garden. It's the Garden of Eden. It's the opposite of the underworld. Why do you think, you know, if you look in astrology or if you look in astronomy, why do you think the Palladians or the Pallades, the seven sisters, are in Taurus? And why do you think Antares is in the big red giant in Scorpio? Why do you think we even call our root chakra red in Scorpio? Because there is that element of like, are we going to follow this more root chakra place or this more heavenly, higher dimensional human being of light and positivity? Now, this is where we are having to connect both, okay? So, but it cannot be all, you know, straight up like, my desires only, my sexual needs only, like my hunger only, right? Like if it's just that, and you're going to choose that, and then you're going to use this Capricorn energy to basically multiply on that one, well, is it going to do the great light work that Uranus in the literally in Taurus in the heavenly bodies are trying to bring us to this garden of heaven? Literally, I mean, that might sound crazy, but Taurus really is heaven. I know that people think that, you know, Taurus is a stubborn, shitty sign, but there's no reason why the moon is exalted in Taurus, because when things are beautiful and the flowers do bloom, and even though, yes, it can be sometimes fake, right? Like everything can look real good in Taurus, but really it's like not things are good. And that's what Scorpio tries to remind, like, you know, but that also is Lucifer, a very big trickster. And I'm not calling Scorpios Lucifer. I'm just saying the story and how it goes. It's like, and I it's kind of crazy because I'm all dressed in black. But, you know, a lot of spiritual people dress in black because the reason why is to hold more light out, believe it or not, and to make sure that you're absorbing all the dark energy to let the most light out. A lot of people think it's opposite. The people who are wearing white all the time and are in bright rooms, they're not able to emit enough light because it's already a lot of light around. Think about that one for a second. But this is really this quest towards a heavenly life. And right now we are all kind of persuaded by whether we call that the darkness, whether we call that our own deeper needs that are in somewhat ways obsessive or somewhat like very, and I don't even like to use the word ego because I think that's just like an overused word, but it's more like this fashion of our just, I'm in it for my own pleasure. It's about pleasure. And my pleasure is more important to me than a higher, better world, you know? And that pleasure can be played out in a million different ways, you know? So as literally we are exiting this whole entire Libra season. I mean, even though Venus is coming back, but the sun's gone. And I mean, where's I think we're right about, we are at exactly right now. The sun is at 2941 Libra. So like we're almost there, you know? So, you know, it's about to drop on us. And I think it's important for everybody to be prepared as we move into Scorpio world. Like, yes, it could feel like we can flip-flop with this opposition to Uranus. Yes, Venus is still retrograde. So it's important to kind of process things, especially like relationships and projects and shit. Like, come on, like trying to start something new now, like, no, like, sorry, just gonna be real. It's probably based off like some deep need of just whether it's pleasure or being alone or, you know, feeling like lost and overwhelmed and you know, and somebody said it's not all, it's all kinds of relationships. It's not just romantic, which is 100% true. But this is definitely about your battle on why you cannot reach your best heaven based off learning to control your life, your hunger, and reach the mission. And this is about remembering the mission, using the Scorpio to pull up this Capricorn energy, especially with Pluto in Capricorn, right? Like, so, you know, there's an important factor here. I mean, if Saturn was in Scorpio like it was with Pluto, you know, when we had that aspect, there was a lot of that going on. But this is really about like this digging up of like remembering the mission fully and seeing the right pieces there and seeing who's on your level. People can look like they're on your level, like they could be into the same things as you. They could like the same music. They can like all these things. But then there's this whole aspect of Taurus that goes, well, let's really see if you're on that same value system, huh? Are you really on that same value system? Like, you know, so I think it's difficult because we might have similar kind of values or desires, but are we really on the same level? Are we really on the same plane? You know? One thing I learned through my experience in Hollywood for a long time and being on television and reality shows, no coincidence, there's a huge helicopter. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's like right over my offices. Kind of crazy. So one thing I learned the most about Hollywood is like, and this is when I was a starving artist, I would park blocks away in my shitty $1,000 Honda Accord that was like kind of had a crease on the side. You know, it was an EX, so it was all right. You know, it wasn't the worst thing, but it was like and it was like blue with like some paint oxidized. You know, it was oxidized. I got it off Craigslist. I'd park that motherfucker 2 streets down because if somebody saw me driving that, and I know this is going to trigger a lot of fucking people right now. But guess what? Nobody's going to hire you for a job, especially whether it's a job or even whether it's in entertainment or anything. Because if you show up like that, you don't have your shit together, Taurus, right? You don't have your self-worth in alignment. Nobody wants that non-self-worth back. Why do you think rich people act the way they do and they put gates up? And why do you think the cops in rich towns pull you over in a shitty car? Why do you think they do that? Because you're not on the level. And I know that might sound fucking horrible and people don't want to hear this shit, but that's the damn truth. So when it comes to relationships right now, guess what? People might look good. They might look like it is, but you'll look at yourself and you'll look in the mirror and you'll be like, you know what? I'm not on the same level. And that's going to be your big indicator of when to go, you know what the fuck am I doing? Right? Like, what am I doing? Why am I getting all up into this When we can't even connect, we don't even have the same, like they don't even have a bank account, and yet I have like 4 bank accounts, or they are not even living in a house or something, and they're just like all over the place, and they don't know where their next day is, and I'm living in a fucking house. You know what I mean? It's like you got to start looking at like very fundamental Taurian real things. Like you just can't get lost in the emotional desire to just penetrate and get in something and connect to it, and then connect to it and try and find all this shit out later. Taurus is saying, like, bring the price checker out. Like, where's the price checker at Target? They got those motherfuckers through every aisle, you know, and at every aisle you could go check the price. I could put this Sprite up and I could be like, here we go, and find that little Q code and beep. Oh, it's $2.99. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do that with people now. Because people have been lost in this last month and a half of the Venus shadow and the buildup and the Mars in the square part of it. Well, it was squaring Venus. Like, there was a lot of like, oh my gosh, and then through Libra season this last 30 days of like, well, maybe I'm going to do this or maybe I'm going to do that, and having to weigh it all out. Like big time shit. But don't get caught up in your like desire place, right? Don't get all caught up in these crazy desires without looking at, is this really on the mission? And is the people that I do want to connect with, the projects that I do want to connect, are we on the same level? And to go back to the Hollywood story, I'd parked 2 weeks away or two blocks away, because if they saw me pull up in that car, I whenever I did jobs or whenever I did big, you know, like I did weird crap to stay alive in Hollywood. Trust me, not like that kind of crap, but I did like real jobs, like weird stuff though. But like, you know, like entertainment stuff. No, and I didn't get naked, and I didn't do porn either. But like, you know, it's like they don't hire you if they see you showing up all fucking not on the same level. And you know what's so fucked up is like, as a business owner myself, you know, if somebody rolls up, because I have the front office so I can see who can pull up, you know, and if somebody wants to try and get a job here or something, or especially solicitors, right? So if a solicitor rolls up and the solicitor rolls up and you can tell his shirt maybe 2 days been on, this is my moon and Taurus talking in my Leo, right? Okay. You know, his car, he hasn't washed it in like 5 days. He's got papers littered all over the back seat. Why would I spend money with you? You obviously don't know how to fucking get your life straight. Like, why would I spend money with you? I know that sounds fucked up, right? But that's the lesson of Taurus. Is like, yeah, you either got the self-worth and the confidence and you've got everything under control, and Capricorn as well. You got your plans. You've got your shit together. You got up early enough to iron your shirt. You got up early enough to take a shower. Before you went to bed, you decided to clean your car and wash it and put all the papers in a row. Because guess what? Presentation is a very important aspect. It's almost like we are blind to the presentation of what's really in front of us. Like we get lost in the emotional, oh my God, I feel this. And then people get lost into like, well, maybe this is a twin flame, or maybe this is a crazy soulmate. And then maybe this is that. When really it's like, did you look at the whole presentation here? Did you notice that? The other thing I learned through all my years in Hollywood are shoes. Looking at someone's shoes. I know that sounds fucked up, but Pisces rules the feet, and Pisces rules the subconscious mind, and it also rules your spiritual awareness. And you can look at somebody's feet and their shoes and tell where they're consciously at. I know people are probably like, what the fuck? Right? So with Taurus, clothes, car, you know, so why do you think, like, I mean, I hate to say it, we're in a world where we judge people based off like, you know, oh, you have a nice car, you have nice clothes, so you got money, but there's an automatic a thing of Taurus that creates value for you, even though I'm not saying that's not your worth, because I know plenty of rich people that are fucktards and they ain't worth shit. You know what I mean? Because they think that is what makes them valuable. That is not. You also have to connect with all the other parts of all consciousness, right? But all I'm saying is right now, more than ever, presentation mixed with that emotion has to be looked at. And then with Leo, if this is divine, true heart love that is everlasting and truly from a place of true love that has, people think Leo's ego, and I hate when people say that shit. I really do. It's just like my trigger, because Leo has got zero ego. If you've ever done tons of ecstasy, like I have, some people might hear have done ecstasy, and you're in a full state of love, there is zero fucking ego in the pure love world. Gonna be honest with you, okay? Zero ego in love, okay? So is it pure love without ego, without like, I'm in this love because I'm getting something out of it, or I'm in this love because it's going to make me feel like I'm going to accomplish something or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just pure love because it's truly universal, loving, happy, like childlike, like doesn't care about anything and how it is, just knows that it's pure, knows that it's enriching, knows that it's childlike, knows that it's got the trust, because the Leo needs trust emotionally to connect. Without that, the king or queen closes the castle gates and you're not allowed in. So, but we have this South Node Mars in Aquarius, which is this like fast, quick connection thing, or wild, erratic, especially in the squares to Scorpio, kind of that taboo, wild side, right? That's why you'll always notice Scorpio Aquarians, whether it's flipped, whether it's a Scorpio rising with an Aquarius sun or a Scorpio with an Aquarius rising, tattoos, purple hair. Like, you'll see that in all Aquarius Scorpio people. They're always going to have that more like radical, edgy look, you know, like, blah, like, whoa, you know, lots of tats, lots of this, right? You know? So, but this isn't a time for us to kind of get lost in these more taboo, radical places. You know, like, we could actually start to think during this time, like, well, maybe I could be a radical porn star. Maybe I should go get a crazy tattoo, or maybe I should dye my fucking hair now, or maybe I should do this crazy stuff, right? I mean, even me, I got a mohawk ever since South Node went into Aquarius 18 months ago. I've had a mohawk for a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Never thought I'd have that, even though it's not perfect right now. But you know what I mean? Like, we start doing crazy shit like that when these kind of aspects all hit, okay? But now that this is going to be the deepest part of it this next 2 weeks, is that what you're going to choose? And then you're left with that. Or you're left with that partnership that really was like a quick and not much else. And then you're going to have to stay with that thing for a while until you finally can get out of that. So, like, this is where this full moon is a saving motherfucking grace. Because you got to look at full presentation here. And you got to see people on your level fully. And you got to be willing to be honest about that, which I think can be kind of hard. You know, it can be hard to do that. So, yeah, it's kind of a crazy situation. But I did want to get to some questions and see how people are doing with questions. What is this? Oh. So yeah, we'll take some questions real quick. Whatever you guys want to talk about, but I won't talk about individual sun signs because it's not fair to the room. It's not fair to everyone else. I got this new tarot deck too that I can pull out. That's this cool, like this cool person. It's like a David Bowie deck. I haven't even opened it yet. Yeah, we're live. Hello, how are you? We're live. Yeah, what's the day? I'll show you. We're live at 9:17 p.m. West Coast. You know. I'm getting back to texts. Been getting some good text messages lately. Okay. Whoa. This thing's going so fast. I need to slow it down. Oh, you guys want me to get the tarot deck? Write your questions down. I'm going to get the tarot deck. Just give me 1 sec. All right. So I was given this deck by Llewellyn. They're like a mind and spirit thing. Llewellyn Publications. I think the kit is Shaman Deluxe Kit. Shaman Tarot Kit. I think that's the one I got. I don't know if it's the deluxe, but I think it's 40 or 46 Canadian, 30 something American. But this is the deck. I haven't even opened it yet. So let's see what's in this motherfucking deck. It kind of was intriguing. It's a shaman deck too. Kind of cool packaging. Kind of very 80s too, you know. It's crazy. I've been so lucky this life. Like I haven't bought a tarot deck. I think I bought like 3 in my life or something. But I've actually just always been somehow given just mad decks. And they just show up. I'm like, hello. Okay, for news, we don't want that. So that's going there. Let's see how this thing works. Yeah, that's another card. Sacred Clown. Oh, so like this is what the Fool card is. This is the Magician. So they call him different, like the Starman and stuff. So it looks like we get it. It's pretty basic. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back up to some of these questions while I'm shuffling. When will we start getting results if we are doing the right thing? Welcome to life. I don't know if we ever get that result till death. That's the honest truth. Are we ever doing the right thing? I mean, I think if you feel like you're on your mission and you're aligned with the energies that you know deep in your true heart are the right thing for you to do for your mission, instead of getting it convoluted in darkness and convoluted in greed and convoluted in avoiding work and picking an easier route for your own selfish gains, that's kind of how you know. Is it Monday for you? Oh, yeah, it's Monday night. I hope you're doing well done under. A lot of karma hitting people right now. I'm seeing people who wronged me get their due. I've been seeing that a little too. But nobody's really wronged me because I just kind of am like, when somebody does something to me crazy, like I get some crazy people, I just kind of go like this. I'm like, this is crazy. Let it be crazy. You know what I mean? Oh, somebody sent me some money. Thank you very much. What about Cancer Leo cuspers? Well, welcome to the Uranus square and the full moon squaring in this and the North Node coming to it. So anything on that Cancer Leo cusp is a major thing. And if your sun's there, like mine, it's a major transformational event. Do you think this season also will be bringing powerful connections together as well as breaking them apart? 100%. I think it's going to be more about bringing powerful connections together. I think breaking apart is just from you breaking apart from connecting to energy that you know is just something that is just not going to take you in the place you really want to go. And it's off mission and it's like a little bit like just self-serving. So I think that the connections we make are ones that are serving for a higher purpose and serving to get us to the better place in our life. And staying with connections and committing to connections that are the best for us in the long run and for the mission, and without letting that self-serving attitude, that self-serving position kind of take over, you know. You can't dangle that tarot card in front of us without making it. Vedic astrology changed my sign to Aries with Scorpio rising from with Taurus and Sag. Depends on how you look at it. Vedic and Western. I mean, I look at both. So, I mean, but the thing is like when you go into Vedic, they're not big into the sun. They don't even talk about the sun much, unless Rahu and the sun or Ketu and the sun, or, but, you know, they don't really get into personality with the sun much. They put your rising as like the personality. Like they put the rising first. They don't put the sun first like Western does. So, and I mean, I've done lots of films, which you can watch on my YouTube for free. Like lots of talks about the difference between both and why I'm a Western astrologer. And there's a lot of Vedics that are combining the Vedic, and we shouldn't even, you know, I mean, we can, whatever you want, if you want to call Vedic or sidereal, but they're taking mainly a lot of the things from Vedic astrology, whether it's the nakshatras or, you know, and moving them and advancing them into tropical positions in Western, and realizing that tropical astrology is the most accurate, is the most bang on. So, you know, you don't see Westerners kind of going backwards to Vedic and applying Western things in Vedic, you know, like they're not even using Chiron or outer planets. But some, I mean, I know Jodhi Patri does. I mean, she's found her way, and I've met her. She's a cool, awesome astrologer, and I don't have anything bad to say about her. But I also, when I listen to her horoscopes, don't really get a spiritual thing, if that makes sense, like about evolution or what you're going through or how you're feeling. It's kind of this more outer based stuff, but that's what she does. But that's the only Western astrologer I know that's gone back to Vedic. Okay, we got a lot of things to cover here. I still doing readings. Yes, I am still doing readings. The magazine comes out October 30th. We are promoting it starting the 25th. Do I have a... Oh, I have a copy right here. I'm not going to open up anything for you all, because I could probably get in a lot of trouble. But this will be at every Walmart. This will be at every Barnes and Noble. This will be at every grocery store for like the next 3 months. And yes, I cover your sun signs. Yes, I get into things like Trudeau and Trump and all the economy and relationships, and teach people astrology. That's all I'm going to show you. But 100 pages, I wrote the whole thing. And it's pretty much a guidebook for all 2019. For each sun sign, politics, entertainment, the world, money, love and relationship stuff. It was probably the most greatest work I've ever done in my life right here. So I'm extremely excited about it. But yes, it's coming out soon. I like this question. David, listen, just give me some advice, please. I think I've been giving a lot of advice recently in the last thing. Your good looks are so distracting. Well, thank you. You know how to get to a Leo's heart right away. At least I'm putting on a good show and dance tonight. I can't wait for Jupiter to move into Sagittarius. Be careful when you talk about that one. I'll just be honest about Jupiter and Sag. Even though it's home, lots of lessons. And Jupiter is a teacher. So yes, everybody thinks it's fortune and opening doors, which it does. It's usually at the end of the transit that we reveal all that we needed to learn. And then we're like, holy shit, that's really the direction I need to go. Look at your life from 2007 to 2008. Look what happened in the world. We thought everything was going to be fine, and the whole economy crashed. So, you got to remember also, that means we're entering year of the pig in Chinese. Whenever Jupiter's coming into Sag, it's year of the pig. So why do you think Jupiter in Capricorn is the year of the rat? When do you think Jupiter's at fall? Because in Capricorn, after that, because the rat wins the race and is first in Chinese because it's an asshole that just uses the ox to jump and win the race, but he's smart enough to know. So it's a weird thing. I have Jupiter in Capricorn, so maybe that's why I know how to get where I want to go in my life. But like Jupiter in Sag is the pig that gets kind of lost in a million different things and kind of. So, Jupiter in Sag is great and all, but it can get really lost, especially with the square to Neptune for the first time since 1852. With Neptune in Pisces, its home sign. You got to remember, Jupiter coming into Sag is triggering this whole mutable aspect again. And triggering even the more craziness of what we had in 2016 with the Neptune Saturn square in Sagittarius, just to even deeper heights. And you think that the craziness of the election with Trump and Hillary was anything? Oh my gosh. When you look at 2019, you look at Jupiter and Neptune. Oh my gosh. So I don't know if I'm ready for Jupiter and Sag. I mean, sure, it'll bring out some great shit, but it's about to hit Neptune. It's going to be opposed by Mars in Gemini this year with Neptune squares with, oh my gosh. No, thank you. It can be amplifying that mutable Neptunian energy to the max, as Neptune will be halfway through Pisces with Jupiter squaring it. Yeah, Venus opposed Uranus for Halloween. Yeah, that might be kind of weird, I mean, you could go to a club and you could go to a party, and next thing you know, your significant other might be making out with some random person, or maybe you're single and you meet some random new person, and then you don't know if really it's on the same level, though, because they are going to be wearing a costume. Maybe you get home and then you take off the clothes and then you go, what is that? You know what I mean? It's like, whoa. You never know. So be careful. Be very, very fucking careful out there. I hear money being mentioned, but not love with this Venus retrograde. Why is that? I don't know, Emma. I mean, I've been talking about love a lot. Future life every day. Been kind of interesting. I've been focusing on a lot of love. There's a lot of money stuff going on too. We're all in like survival mode. Venus in retrograde in Scorpio, and I did that on my September forecast about Venus entering shadow, about where people try to survive through selling things or taking debts or loans out or maxing their credit cards out or doing what they can to survive. A lot of people want to just drop everything and sell everything and move. Like that's like a total Venus retrograde in Scorpio story. Like, oh my God, okay, sell this, sell that, get that out, or go get a credit card and max it out, and then do this, and then go take out a loan and then to fill that. And we all are doing it in some form or fashion. So Venus retrograde in Scorpio is money wise, but when it comes to love too, if you've been in a long relationship, it's definitely not time to fully end it, right? Because you don't know. You need to see everything. There's a lot to reveal. And then if you enter into a new relationship, it's definitely every new relationship I ever entered in Venus retrograde always never worked. Never. And by the end of the retrograde, or right when it came direct, maybe even a week after it went direct, it was like I literally looked at the person like, how in the hell was I screwing that or hanging out with you for like that for those weeks? Like what was I doing? Especially that Venus in Capricorn retrograde. That one was weird in 2014. Wow. Time flies. So, Is this full moon? I'm assuming moon delivering karmic justice. I don't think there's a lot of revenge out there. I think that's a lot of like ploys from the subconscious media that is trying to plant all this person does this and these people are bad and da 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 da. I really feel this effect of, this isn't about vengeance right now on other people. And if you get into that place, there's a dark world to get down into, especially in Scorpio world. Like, you definitely don't want to get caught up there too long, Wow, we got a lot of questions here. I'm like, make my day, my year. Pull me a card. All right, I'm going to pull a card. I think still waiting for you to come to channel 27. Hopefully soon. I have been slammed. Oh, Heidi. Yeah, I know. I gotta do a show with you, Heidi. I'll make Talia's day and I'll pick you a David Bowie card, but I gotta clear energy first in this deck. All right. Talia, you got the Six of Swords reversed. So this means that you're not allowing yourself, you're trying to control your life way too much right now and control the way things are going. So you just need to take your hands off the wheel and let the universe knows the right path for you. So get on that. You already know there's a new road that you just need to get on and everything will work out, but you're going against that road and trying to push the road the way that you want to go and trying to drive it so fast that direction, and it's interesting. In this one, I love this artwork. I've never seen this before, but it's this little Mayan guy in Atlantis, who's, getting guided and moving in the right direction from this higher Atlantean Mayan being kind of pushing the right direction. But I think that this is you not allowing the divine guidance to take over and to allow that to happen. Especially in traditional, Rider Waite, Six of Swords is all about just let the ride, enjoy the ride, and let the God is channeling you in the right direction. But when it's reversed, it's not allowing that to happen, All these people want cards. If you want a card pulled, you can super chat me. So Pluto going under the ecliptic, the whole Pluto node thing on Pluto's own nodes, I would recommend to go buy Michael Luton's talk about it from UAC, because he gets very deep into it and he gives the exact dates of when it happens, but always it's monumental change in the world, complete radical change, especially that's happening in Capricorn right now. But it definitely just is making the Pluto energy more potent, and with Saturn approaching and with Jupiter approaching and with the South Node approaching Saturn and the South Node approaching Pluto, the shit's going to be big over this next year and a half to 2 years. But yeah. Super chat is you just click that little super chat money thing and you send me some money and I'll pull you a card. That's pretty much how it works. So actually, I have a question for you all, because I've told people that deep astrology is going to be on Future Life in about a month. But I'm playing with the notion because some people are trying to tell me, and I'll get to that in a minute, that somebody just sent me money for that card. But I'm playing with it with the factor, or maybe do I keep deep astrology on YouTube, but people super chat and help out because I can't run these studios all day and just run a whole studio and employees and everything and do the greatest astrology show that I believe has ever been done. To be honest with you, nobody's doing it the way that I'm doing it, with multiple cameras and with a stage and with going through the charts that way and making it very involved and being very raw and real. So the truth is, all I'm asking for is $5.99 a month. Plus you get all your daily horoscopes every day, video wise, and you get your sun sign weekly horoscopes, and you get a weekly tarot report, and you get a weekly intuitive report by me, and you get notifications every day on your phone, and you also get a daily tarot poll on my video. It just makes me a little like that people are giving me crap about deep astrology. Like, that show is worth it, like. And then when people say, oh, keep it on YouTube and do super chat, it's like, okay, I've got other shows I'm bringing out in the next week. So let me get to these people's cards. So I don't know. Oh, healing our world together. Biggest next change for you is you got the Three of Swords reversed. So I think that you're coming out of a lot of bad heartbreak. And so this changes you letting go of the heartbreak that you've had, whether that's a breakup or definitely I feel like it's more like feeling alone in your heart. So the biggest change is to let go, though, of the heartbreak, like to let go of it literally and stop holding on to the story of the heartbreak. That's the biggest change for you, because that's what's been the major issue that's been for you in your life, of not feeling satisfied and happy, feeling like you've been given this horrible kind of story when really you can get over it. Heidi, card for whatever I need to hear. By the way, David busts his ass. Okay, Heidi, what did you get? Heidi got, you got the Empress card up right. You're looking good, Heidi, especially with you stepping into your full manifesting power, you knowing your worth and you starting to create it. It's like you've been waiting a long time to finally come into your goddess power, come into your greatest energy of truly manifesting from the state in which you want. But I think that this is also saying that for you, in order to fully integrate into this, you need to fully act like it, though. Like, no longer allowing yourself to kind of be it, but then kind of like not fully own it and not fully step into the energy. So this is kind of forcing you to fully step into it, like big time. Sydney Campbell got the High Priestess up right. So I know I just shuffled the deck, but I'll shuffle it again. But this is definitely that your guides, your intuition is totally right in where you're going right now, but you need to follow it 100%, even though it might sound crazy. Like, and I think it's very important for you to, whether you do some sort of angel talk or try to talk to your guides or some sort of prayer right now, or even seeking some sort of spiritual counsel right now to give you some sort of answer like this. But I think that it might not be me, but somebody else. Like, there's a lot of the universe trying to talk to you right now, and you have to allow it to come through very intensely and very big. But Cindy, this is looking good for you in your life, because I think that this is a point for you where you and yourself too are stepping into following your intuition at the best way that you ever have before in your life, and not being afraid of it either, right? And like really owning it and really stepping into it too. Oh man, these cards are flying everywhere. Dark raw indigo. I'm trying to hit everybody here. So we did Cindy. We're doing Aaron Hamill now, which pulled the Queen of Wands. So Aaron, I mean, this is definitely about following your creative life and your deep creative life, but not going about it so strong, like knowing the right balance between it, but also stepping into your power with your creativity, but not over powerfully, like not trying to push it into people's face, but just knowing, kind of like a regal kind of knowing of your power, which I think you're reaching and you've reached, but you don't need to try so hard or push it so hard. Like, it's about just standing in the power of your creativity without being so needing to prove yourself. You've already proved yourself. and to like allow that to happen. Okay, I'm getting really lost here. Okay, card. Okay, then I did. Okay, so we're doing Ellen Faust now, which got the Prince of Wands, which is pretty much, I mean, I think in these decks, it's probably the Knight of Wands, which in this one, it does. So this is another amazing creative card, but more importantly, for you, I think it's you're having to take the initiative now in your life. Like you're actually having to get out and put your energy and your creative force on and your heart on, and you need to like do something about it. Like it's like almost like you've been waiting to just finally jump into something in your life, and you have to make the leap. And especially it's kind of like that energy of moving from a princess to a queen, like stepping into your own power, starting to step into your own responsibility. So there's a lot there with that. Okay, I am really lost now. I wish this thing was a little bit easier. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Alexis Ray, next big positive change. You got the Ace of Wands reversed. So this means that there's something that you still need to end in order for your big positive change. So especially with it being a wand, whether this is a romantic situation or some creative situation that, you know, is holding you back from truly stepping into your positive change and stepping into your full power, like there's something that still hasn't completed fully, or you fully haven't cut something away yet for you to step into your greatest power and step into your most positive change. So Alexis, like there's still something that you're hanging on to from the past that definitely you have to let go of. And in this deck, it's like this very radical, like wand with the fire and the power. But with it reversed, it's like you're not allowing that energy out. It's kind of like a conduit energy that you are still blocking by holding on to something that you just need to let go of. Okay, so it looks like I finally am found a way to do this. I did Ellen, I did Aaron, I did Cindy. Fully fed artist. What's the most important thing for me to know? That you're fully fed? Let's see here. Yada, 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 yada. We got the Tower card. So, wow, look at David Bowie's Tower card. Woo. There's a lot that is you've already reached in your life, fully fed artist, that it's an old story now. A new story has to begin. Maybe being a fully fed artist, I don't know why my guides are saying this, like even having the attachment to that is like almost kind of like still holding you back from being like the most glorious artist. Like even being like, I know where you're going with like, you know, starving artist to fully fed artist, but you're still attaching to not being a, like you're still attaching to a lower level of looking at it. I don't know why my guides are trying to say that. And they were very clear when I even made the joke about it. But with the Tower card, this is kind of like a new story that must begin. Like the story has reached a completion in your life. Like you can no longer, it's not like it's over. Whatever you've been doing and the way you've been doing it, you got to start fresh. The star card's what follows the Tower. And so I think, you know, it's scary to kind of say, you know, this ain't working no more in my life. The way, and this is not just one specific thing. This is like the whole way your life's going, like in transitioning to a new reality in a new way. And for some reason, my guides automatically got really hit with that fully fed artist thing. Because even though I get what you're meaning about starving artists, you're still connecting to starving artists by even referring to it, which will keep you starving in a weird way. And maybe not monetarily, but in other ways. So we got Soul Walker healing. What is the universe transpiring for me? Transpiring. Little David Bowie deck. Let's see. We got the Six of Wands reversed. So this isn't one of the worst cards in the world, but, you know, definitely if you look at the upside of this card, like it definitely is saying that, one, I think for you that you don't really have to anymore keep pushing so hard. I think like Six of Wands to me, and the way that this is like, because you got to reverse like what you want to reach in your life for celebration, you have to go about it a new way, or whatever that you've attached to celebrate or that you think is your highest ranking is not really what the highest ranking is. There's something better. There's something higher. There's a higher goal to achieve. So maybe it's about redirecting to a higher goal now, because maybe this goal that you thought was the highest isn't really that high. And that's why it's not working. So the universe is asking you to go into a new direction to truly get to that space. I think that's a big thing. Ruby W just wants a card, please. And you got the Eight of Wands reversed. So that things are not flying in the right direction right now. It's almost like, Eight of Wands is always like, Cupid's arrow is flying in the right direction. And when it's reversed, everything's going the wrong way. So, maybe you feel like there's a lot of stuff not going the right direction right now in your life, especially romantically or creatively or passionately, but pulling a lot of wands and I'm shuffling the shit out of this thing. But I think for you, Ruby, I think a lot of it is just like, think of it like turning the boat around, turning the ship around. If things are not floating the right way right now, go the opposite direction, and go the way that the wind is blowing instead of going against the wind. Although it's a wonderful song though. How will my job go in November? This is for Jupiter's blessings. Will it be okay? Thanks so much. How will your job go in November? Jupiter's blessings. I'm trying to shuffle the crap out of this deck for everybody here. I'm not like those tarot girls that, you know how they go, like I just can't do that. I don't know why. I haven't figured it out. Everything flies out. All right. So, and I do reversals. So what I do is I always cut the deck in half. Okay. I've been doing this for like 10 years. So I cut the deck in half and I turn it around. Then I go in and I do that again, cut the deck around, and I go in. So I'm mixing reversals and, I try to make this a sloppy mess. So for Jupiter blessing for your career, you got the 10 of Cups. Your job in November is going to go really well. So you're going to be fine. Don't even trip. This is honestly the right move, the right stuff. Your name too, Jupiter blessings. You're lucky. I mean, you're filled with many blessings, but you're extremely filled with blessings with this card. And I think that you're going to be able to really start to reach the place that you want to in your life pretty much by where this is all going. Your job in November. So I'm pretty stoked for you. You're very lucky. But I feel like when I connect with your guides, though, it's like, what are you going to do with the blessing of this to take you even to a better place? Instead of reaching the thinking like, yes, it will go great, actually, even though maybe you're afraid. It's going to go good, but it can take you to a much better place. So what is that other place? Start to think after November. Start to think of where that could take you beyond. Dark, raw indigo, love your work, Sag rising here. Going through it mentally, escape mode activated. I'm sorry to hear that, Dark Raw. And thank you for the appreciation of the work. Let's see what we can get up for you here. Sag rising. You're almost through. You got Jupiter coming into Sag. Jupiter in the 12th sucks. Sucks. One of the worst transits in all astrology. I put it in the top 3 or 4 worst transits. Jupiter to the 12th sucks. Very difficult. Very hard. All right. Let's see what we got here for you, Dark Raw. We got the Hierophant card reversed. So I think number one, you're just not in a normal routine and rhythm in life right now, and that's okay. And you're feeling way out of whack. Like you're feeling like you're kind of in your own world, especially. But I think that this is you realizing that step by step, you need to start taking some sort of normal routine and rhythm back into your life, whether that's a walk every day, whether that's, just something that keeps you in reality. Because it's almost like, kind of in your own world, in your own space right now, Dark Ross. So find a way to get back. And also with Hierophant, reverse, it's like prayer is important, and finding maybe building an altar right now to pray at every day. And maybe that's the new routine. So at least you know that your days have something that's coordinated. Whenever I went through Jupiter in the 12th, and funny that you pulled up the Hierophant reversed, like the only thing that kept me together was having some sort of routine, which was my videos, and then my altar and my prayers. And that was like what kept me together, For Titan Lock 74, I'm getting a benefited job with the company I've been with for 2+ years. We indie. I don't know what that means, but Titan Lock, we'll figure this out. You got the star card up right, which is awesome. So I'm getting a benefited job with the company I've been with for 2+ years. So, I mean, the star card is starting from a fresh new space, but really divinely guided by the highest good and you connecting with the new highest good. So use this benefited job to, I don't really know what this means. My guides are like trying to tell me like there's something completely new starting that you have to take and you have to move on to. And it's going to take you to an even different position in a different place, and you realize that's a much better place. So it's almost like this is a stepping stone to a better place in many ways. For Yen York City, we just got the 3 of Cups. So I don't know what's going on in your life, but, just start appreciating life more and start to enjoy life more. And especially that, they got the Holy Grail in these cups. I love that. I think that this is you learning to enjoy where you're at right now in your life, be more social, but more importantly, start to realize like there is a higher divine calling to have this connection with these great groups and these great, places to be, and to be around those places more right now, because there's abundance waiting for you everywhere, socializing and being with people on the same common place and denominator. So you pulled a great card. For Topaz Moon, whatever comes through, I'm a Scorpio with Taurus Moon. Well, welcome to your lunar return. You got the 9 of Pentacles upright, which is a great card. This is about you having to stand your own independent ground now and find your confidence within yourself and knowing how to see that everything around you is connectable. Everything around you can be made to whatever. Like, I mean, I can turn this Sprite into a ashtray if I want to. I can turn this star tarot thing into like, I don't know, I could put it on here or something and advertise it, right? Like, the thing about the 9 of Pentacles is about learning that you can use your strength and your independence to manifest anything and connect with what's all around you, that everything's around you to start manifesting, connecting from. But you got to be in that divine, strong, and true essence of self. And when you can do that, okay, I want to stop the super chats now because I'm gonna go here in a second. So no more super chats, please. I don't know if I can turn that thing off, but I got to get through all these readings because now I'm overwhelmed. So please stop, all the people, because holy cow, I didn't realize there were this many. Ooh, okay. Please allow for your app to play in the background. I like to listen while multitasking sometimes. Love your work. What do you mean by that? I don't know if you want a card reading for that or if you were just getting... Please allow for my app to play in the background. don't know what you mean. Not even you. Well, YouTube has a deal where they can put the video in the corner. I mean, there are ways. Hold on, I'm getting texts. And I'll pull a card for you, Melissa. You pulled the 3 of Wands reversed. So, Melissa, I think a lot of this is like there's a lot, and I think this kind of goes with your question with the app. There's way more options out there that maybe you haven't looked at yet. And there's a bigger future too of things that maybe you haven't seen in the horizon yet. So this is just a time for you to look bigger, look for more, search the horizon more, and see what's more possible out there. There's ways that, like on the app, like, I don't know, maybe you have to have a newer iPhone and connect it to like a Bluetooth speaker, but there is a way to, like play the video with a YouTube speaker and still do what you need to do. There's ways to do stuff. You can also AirPlay it to a TV. That's what I do. So like, like I can, AirPlay the video. If I have my Apple TV on, AirPlay it, have it on TV, and then do what you got to do. Hey, what is going on, Taurus? So, Laverne wants to know what's going on with her. Laverne's got, well, I'm not going to pick that card because the 3 of Wands came before that, so that means that we have a little bit of a shuffle issue still. And this card keeps flying out, but okay. You got the Hangman upright. So I know that it feels like you're stuck, but there's a lot of insight in this moment for you to gain because this is what's going to help you in the future. It also means that you're at the peak right now of feeling stuck. So don't feel like you're going to be stuck much longer, but realize there's a lesson to be learned and why you feel so stuck and kind of unknown of what choice to make and everything, or feeling like there's just no way out of a situation right now. You're at the peak of it and you're learning the wisdom within it, and you're going to gain a lot of knowledge from it. From Astro Yanni, I'm putting myself out there. So for putting yourself out there, you did get the Lovers card reversed. So I think that either A, you're in a relationship that's holding you from that. B, if you're single, that you need to find a relationship that encourages you, whether it's a friendship, people that truly love you, support. But for some reason, I got a feeling that there are also people who are saying that you can't do it, or not appreciating you, or not seeing you, and you need to start surrounding yourself around connections and people that truly will love you and that will truly support you, even though you've got to do it on your own. I think for you, a lot of it is who you're around. For Katrina, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, lots of Scorpio. Give me a card, please, Leo King, 100, 100. And you got the Princess of Wands. So, this is a great card because I think for you, like, one, this is a total, part where you can totally step into your true light. Like this, and especially with all the Scorpio stuff, like it's like you have finally reached this moment where everything is feeling divine and your creative energy is at its peak, but there's bigger rounds to go now. So you've reached where you wanted to go, but there's more to reach. There's higher. And please, everybody, please, no more super chats. Please, I'm trying to go. And I don't want you guys to pay me money and I can't do the reading because there's too many. Please. Please. I know most people would die for this, but I have to go. So, and we lost like 300 people. But you're in a good space, Katrina, because you're at a place where you can finally go where you've always wanted to go. But you need to realize this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of your power. And there's higher realms for you to reach it. And it's going to be very exciting. I think that's Liz W. Liz W. You pulled the Death card upright. So for you, I think that this is an extremely big moment because it might feel really intense, but you are transforming. There is things ending, but there's a whole new doorway that's in front of you. And it might look scary as hell. But the truth is that I like the Death card. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. It does move things forward. It does move things into a new direction. So allow that new direction to be moving forward in your life. It'll help you out a lot. Super stoked for you, but just don't be afraid of the change that's being forced on you. We got Violet Eon in there. Hi, David. I'm on the fence about a couple moving into my home. Card about that, please. And you got the Strength card. Now I know that, yeah, these kind of cards came back to back, but I think it is important for you to realize if you feel like you're losing your power and your confidence in self and things are not feeling right, okay? Like you're starting to feel like I'm losing my energy about this whole situation, then don't do it. Like if you feel very strong about it, do it. If you don't feel strong about it, definitely do not do it. This is not about finding inner strength about wanting to take people in that maybe you don't want to. Like, this is not something like that, you know? This is definitely you learning how to set your own boundaries with what you want in your life and what you're strong about and what you really can find in your true confidence of self, and not allowing people to kind of, you know, I don't want to say take advantage or anything, but you know what I mean. Let me see how many I have left. Oh my gosh. So no more super chats, please. Oh, no more. Wow. Holy cow. I can't even. It won't even load them all right now. Shoot. If I haven't done yours yet, just write down your question again. I'll just go. I only have like 3 left that it shows, but I know that there's more that are on there. But there were so many super chats, it won't let me go back up and see them. There's no way for me to see. Even if let me see if I pop out the chat. Yeah, even if I pop out the chat, that's kind of stupid. Well, at least I know for long term. Don't give me your money. It's too much at once. Oh, man. I know. Kind of crazy, right? Like, shoot. Now we're just totally lost. And now there's just so many things. I'm very lost. There's so many people now. And I don't know who paid and who didn't. I know Kendall Wade was on there. Card for more clarity on current situation. And you pulled the Queen of Cups reversed, that you're not sitting in your emotional confidence and knowing how to take care of yourself in the way that you should, that you're giving your emotion away, that you're giving your power emotionally away. And I think for you, Kendall, you have to step into your emotional strength and take back your emotions and not nurture everyone, and learn to re-nurture yourself and step into your own world, because you've been giving so much of this nurturing energy away that you can't step into your own power. For Emma, Can you give me a reading about what I'm supposed to do with your career? We're just pulling one card, but yeah, like I can give you some sort of direction with that. We got the Seven of Swords upright. There's some things that you don't know about that, you need to do more looking at. This card is not a very good card, I'll be honest with you, just for the fact that it's usually either someone stealing or there's information that you still haven't looked at, or you need to go back and you need to look at things. So when it comes to your career, maybe you're looking in the wrong direction. Maybe you're around people who are not on the best aspect. Maybe if you have no career, definitely don't go into crime or anything dealing with anything that's a little shady or a little off. Definitely stay away from that energy and stay away from people who don't feel like they're on the up and up, because there's something shady going on there. Kelly Mack, I remember, was on there. Hi, what does the universe want me to do? You pulled the Temperance card reversed, which means, one, you have to look at your schedule, your day-to-day life, and go, why? There's a couple ways to look at the Temperance card. One is it takes time for things to happen, but I think when it's reversed, I think that it's like, this is you needing to put more energy into your life and to picking your direction and just go there instead of waiting for eternity for something to happen. Like, you just have to step into a direction and start moving. And even if it's not fully defined, at least define some part of it. I know it might take some time, but sitting in a Temperance reversed forever is very upsetting, because it just feels like the world's not coming together. It's almost like God stopped building on the earth or something. Carrie Berry, I paid, just need card pulled. You got the Two of Swords. You got a major choice that you feel blinded about, one way or the other way. But I think for you, it's about picking the most logical decision instead of what maybe you might intuitively think is the best. Like, you need to look at logic a little bit more, because you might be blind to the logic. You might be blind to the truth. And so for you, that decision is not about what feels maybe right so much in the gut, as much as like kind of think a little bit more straight, because maybe you're being a little blind to the truth of what's going on. Miles Julian, I haven't done yours yet. Ace of Cups upright. So you're at a major renewal point in your life, and you're finally at a place where you can start fresh. But with the Ace of Cups upright, you do have to remember that you do have to kind of come from a very holy, spiritual place. Like, you have to make sure there's no tainted emotions around you. You have to really be at a place where you're ready to not have toxic energy around you and step into the cup of life. But you have to be in that pure state. You have to be around pure energy and pure people. Emma Moore, not the happiest reading, but so thankful. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes they're, Kobe Max, tell me about your career. And you got the Nine of Swords reversed, which means you have to let go of a lot of protective and guarded energy that has been happening. Oh, it's swords, but never mind. I thought it was wands for a second because I saw this, but this card actually is saying, and it's funny because actually I looked at it as Nine of Wands, but it is swords. But I'm going to say from the guides that drop your defense, but also stop panicking about your career. You're at full panic mode. And the issue is that you need to just drop all this panic and drop your defense mechanisms about it, because there's so much panic and there's so much that you're almost obsessed with the panic about your career. So for you, I think that drop that defense up, drop those fears, because they're hurting you in many ways. Okay, I'm very lost. I think I got to everybody here. I'm seeing people like 4 times saying the same thing. I I know there was a $50 one, and it looks like that's Candace. So you got the King of Cups, which I think is funny because it's like you did pay $50, but I think the funny part about this King of Cups is you're in the ultimate place of knowing exactly what feels right for you in your life. Don't even give up a part of your life right now or give in to giving your energy away emotionally to people that are trying to take it. With the King of Cups, like, you have to stay in a beautiful place, but you have to stay in a strong place, though, of holding the line in what you're feeling emotionally. And when you're not feeling the right way, you have to let that boundaries be set. Like, sorry, I feel great, and that's the way it's going to be. And this is about you staying and feeling good and not sacrificing or losing yourself from energy that might be like trying to pull you away. You got to own that and own it very hard right now. Listen, some people are getting a little crazy in here. Like, I just say, like, you want a card thrown? Like, throw me some money, donate me some money. But like, this is not like some official, like, you pay, I'm like, like a crazy, like, magical little box that's just like a toy or something like you just throw money into. Like, so many people were just throwing like $1 or $5 or whatever. Like, but we need to figure something out here, because like we're talking about, we had 950 people in here. So like, and everybody's all over the place, and I got through most of them, but like, people gotta like relax a little bit here. Like, people are freaking out on me because they can't pay $5.99 for Future Life, but you'll pay $5 for me to pull a card. Like, I think that's what's the irony in this whole super chat today. It's like, you can throw $5 for that, but me being with you every day, 20 videos a week on your phone, on a computer, on the website, and you're freaking out and treating me like I'm like not getting to you. Like, I just, it's like, if you want a card, throw me some money. And then it's like, boom, like, there's literally hundreds of people. It's not realistic for me to get through everybody and answer every question. I'd be sitting here, 100 people. You do a minute each person, 100 minutes or more. So like, I got through pretty much everybody. If you can't get on Future Life, but you have the app, go to futurelife.tv. Maybe try resetting your password, or call, go to the help button. There's a full customer service with people on there. I didn't miss a lot of people. I had got down to where there was like 6 people left. Who's upset? Let's try and figure out who's upset, and we'll get to them. So everybody stop chatting for a second. And anybody who feels that they got screwed over or anything like that, just put it up right now, and I'll pull you your card. Okay, so what is this? Lax? You got skipped. So for lax, we got the King of Pentacles reversed, which is an irony card in this situation of not stepping into your value and not feeling valued, right? Not feeling like you're in your greatest manifesting energy. But this is about an internal thing. And I've always said this is the card of the pimp, right? Like pimps kind of walk with swag, or it's the swag card. So for you, this is about owning your swag more in order to create more abundance and create the world that you want to create. But there's this feeling of lack inside, and that feeling of lack is creating lack throughout your whole life at the moment. So for you, you're going to have to step out of that kind of energy of attaching yourself to lack and stepping into that you are fully abundant now and you are a master of abundance, because you'll get picked, you'll get handled, you'll get what you need, and that's super important. I didn't get mine, but maybe that means there's no message. So Lisa. So Lisa's card is going to be the 8 of Cups reversed. So, oh, wow, it's kind of a cool card, actually. But this card is always about moving into a whole new direction and changing your whole life and leaving the whole past behind. But with the reverse, there's a fear of that. So there's a lot of emotional stuff, Lisa, in your life that you're afraid to let go of right now and leave. I'm not taking any more money for readings. People are like, what the hell's going on? I know. I'm like the only person in the world who's like, please don't pay me any more money. But anyway, for was it Lisa? I'm getting lost again. Okay, Chandra Sagnet got the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So this means that your home situation, your foundation, it's in a tizzy. Okay, so you have to find a better place to feel more secure, whether you got to fix something in your home life, or even pick a new home, or pick a new city or a location that you are in a place where you can't manifest the life because the foundation is no longer the right place for you. So whether that is a new city, I don't know why my guides keep pulling to new state, new city, like new area, because this new area you can build where you really want to go and build the life that you want. And I think it's important for you to realize that you need to be surrounded in the right area with the right people, with the right family situations, with the right energies, so you can have a place where you can grow in your abundance in your life. But I think it's going to be hard because this is kind of showing that it's going to create kind of a hard decision for you to do that. And also letting go of things that you have valued at one time that was a place that was supporting you that no longer is. Okay. I paid, but I want it from heart, no stress. You're not going to get it from stress, Leslie. Come on, girl. I got you. Five of Swords upright. This is a time where you're trying really hard to get things that you want in your life, and other people are not digging it. This card is when a person is literally trying so hard and people walk away like, okay. So maybe your energy might be a little too intense right now for what you want, or whether that's demanding or even communication. So it's very important for you right now to learn how to respect what other people might have opinions about, like in your personal world. We're not even talking about this chat room or nothing. So it's just like maybe also just your overconfidence and good things in your life. People are jealous too. That's another part of this card. But you do need to pay attention to it in a way where you want people to get you and be on the team with you. So I think it's super important for that. Like finding a way to like let others see you for who you are instead of see you for this other side of you, which isn't really who you are, but they're looking at you that way. And so you're going to have to find a way to do that, though. I've never done this before, super chat or pulled cards. I just did it for fun. I was just going to see, and then it was like kind of crazy. Yeah, the moon is gorgeous tonight. This is awesome live. I paid, but I know it's getting late. Elsar, I got you. Hope she's still in here. You pulled the Starman reversed, which is the Magician card reversed. So this is saying is that remembering the basics of why you're a human being, remembering that you're extremely powerful, and remembering that the only way magic happens is when you're connected from up there and you're the conduit and you're also connected down here. So you can't be in the spiritual world and not in reality, or only in reality and playing with the spiritual world. You have to be 100% now with spirituality and the reality and connecting both together at the exact same power to be that true magician. And in this deck, the Starman, which I think they have it as David Bowie in there. They do. But, the magician reversed also, as well as just like that you don't feel like you're in your full power of a human. But the truth is like it's just about embracing both sides fully instead of kind of picking a side. So maybe there's an issue with fully stepping into your spiritual power, or like, are you going to just stay in reality constantly? So I think that there's a part of you having to go, whoa, like I need to like bridge both and be the bridge. So this is about bridging things. David asked, is the $5.99 for Future Life a monthly payment? It's a monthly payment. $10 years of waiting. Am I done? I don't know if you wanted a card pulled. Did you pay for a card, or Luke Forzen? Okay. No more money. Hold on 1 second. I need to take this phone call. Do you like that? How it's like when I get a phone call? Hello. I'm live on YouTube right now. Yeah, what are you gonna get? Oh, it's late, huh? Uh-oh. I don't know. I am going to put executive decision in your court. Cool? And then I'll see you when you're there. Bye. All right. Yeah, no more super chats. I think we got everyone. Somebody said, Elizabeth, you tell them, girl, what happened? No more super chats. Yeah. Okay, I think we got everybody. Why wouldn't you get a call? You're the Leo King. Anyway, most people don't know, but I do tarot on Future Life every week and every day and literally every week. And I started doing tarot before astrology back in 2006. No. Yeah, 2006. And a lot of people know the story. I'll answer that question in a second. Diamond, you missed me, David? I don't know what that means. Me? Still me? Like everybody's, to be honest with you, I don't know that like the truth anymore. Cause like I put it out there, put it all on there. We went through everybody. I'm just confused, but also we said there at the end that we were done with it. So I'm very confused about this whole thing here at the end. Anyway, I started doing tarot in 2006. Somebody asked why my readings are so pricey. Number one, just look what happened with Super Chat by me trying to do this. If I were to put my readings at let's say $200 an hour, right? I did that in 2013 and 2014. And I did 6 readings a day, 5 days a week for 2 years. I was booked out the whole 2 years. My whole life was readings. And it's just impossible. You know, it's like impossible. Because to be very honest with you, when it comes to astrology readings, I've bought a reading from all the YouTube astrologers just so I knew what the competition was. And all of them never delivered what I wanted. I was like, this is a horrible reading. This is a natal chart reading. Like I can go read a book about this shit. Right? Like nobody's being like a channeled astrologer reading. So my readings are like straight to the point, like giving you the raw, specific truth of what's going down, what's going to happen, how's it going to happen, past life stuff. Like I bring the whole entire circle into it all. So not only is it because it's the bomb, there's no coincidence that happened right there, little sound effect. But yeah, that and combining that whole element of channeled, and I do solar arc, progressed, natal chart, transit, all at the same time. Like that's the thing is like, sometimes they'll go to an astrologer and they'll just do solar arcs, and it's like they have to run it like a program. Like I can literally look at your solar arcs and do it all in my head, what the transits and with the progressions all at the same time. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things, you know? And the other part is I want to have a life. So that's why I created, you know, videos to help people instead. You know, individual readings are kind of like I don't know what you call it, a luxury, you know. So I just did a sale on my readings. They just ended on the 18th. Yeah, every reading I do, it's full guides, and I'm connecting with your guides. Some people don't have guides though. Some people don't, but 95% of the readings have guides. So, you know, it's like connecting with the guides, getting information. And then, you know, what sucks the most is like, I can wake up, start my day, be doing my life. And then I'm like feeling like shit. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why do I feel like shit? And then I'll show up to the reading and I'll be like, holy mother of God. And I'll be like, look at these trends. Look at this. Oh my, look at these progressions. Look at this solar arc. And the soul is going through hell, like going through like crazy intense change. And because that morning they woke up and they're like, I'm going to have my Leo King reading. Oh my God. Like their energy just starts going, you know, and until I get to the reading and until I actually do it and clear the energy of the reading, I can't block it before. I've tried a million things. But there's no way to not stop that penetration of the anticipation of knowing, because it's not only them, it's their guides that I can't stop, because my guides are like, okay, we get it. But some of the guys are like, we're desperate. We need to get the information to this person, you know? And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I get there, do the reading, and I leave the reading. I'm like, oh, thank God. And then my guides are like, thank God that those people's guides were desperate. And then I feel good at the end because I'm like, I'm glad, because it's not even me, right? Like, it's like the guides that are like, like, thank you, and then, channeling it. But like, that's the gnarliest part, is you thinking that you have some health problem when you wake up in the morning. Like, oh God, am I sick? Or do I have this? Or do I have that? Or do I have anxiety right now? Or do I have this? And it's somebody else's stuff, coming in, so that's like kind of the gnarly part of it all. But yeah, readings are closed. We were saying readings were closed for a while. Yeah, we're still live. I'll pull a card for Kundalini. She came late. She paid. From what it shows, I have two people who paid late. Candace Rosen and Kundalini Perdomo. So for Kundalini, it's my love life Virgo sun. I don't care about any of that stuff. Let's see what we got. You got the 5 of Pentacles reversed. So you're the one leaving yourself out to dry in your love life. Like, you're needing to be honest, I don't know you. I don't know your life, but this card always tells me that you are playing a victim role. And also, this is requiring you, especially this card, to embrace more of a beautiful richness in yourself, whether that's getting a makeover or seeing some friends who can pump you up energetically. But there's a need to kind of re-beautify and reconnect with the divine self, and no more victim mentality and self-worth stuff, because that's what's creating the whole thing here. Just being real. And what's interesting in this card too is, like, I don't know if you know, but in original, 5 of Pentacles, it's 2 people that are out. They're like homeless, and they're like walking out the church in the snow. In this case too, like, they're just kind of 2 people outside, like these beautiful like gardens, but kind of outside the garden. So like, playing that kind of victim role is not the best. And also learning to know how to enter into the world you want to by representing yourself, maybe a new wardrobe, maybe spending some money to look good on yourself, like, or seeking some sort of counsel from spiritual, or, like about maybe some trauma issues that you've gone through that are not allowing the love to come in. That stuff's got to kind of be faced, I know people will throw me money all day, and it's sad, but I really, this one Candace person, Rosen, pulled a card, and it's the 7 of Cups reversed, which means focus, Rose. I don't know if Candace is still in here, Rosen, but focus on one thing right now instead of so many options. Like, focus, get more focused instead of looking at so many directions right now. Focus on what's the most important thing to you, because if you get caught up in so many different things, you're not going to be able to finish them all, and then you'll be unhappy and things won't be good. And so I think it's important for you to focus on one thing. The other thing is, this also means this is having to look into many distractions too, and that what is distracting you from what's the most important thing in your life. And that's not fulfilling you, because the distractions aren't truly fulfilling, if that makes sense either. So anyway, we're done with readings for sure. Like, I've gotten to everybody that even shows up at the top of my paid thing. And I'm not doing cards for anybody else. We just did a lot. I'm going to leave here in a second, but if anybody has any last questions just about astrology or anything, Tomorrow's Deep Astrology. It's still free on YouTube for another month. Can I talk about what comes up in a reading? I mean, I've had everything come up. But to be honest with you, I don't ask for. I ask people what they feel called to get a reading for. They tell me, and then I go, "What's your astrological knowledge?" Just so I know how to talk to them. If they know nothing, I'm going to totally talk to them without astrology knowledge. If they know astrology, I'm going to talk to them with full blown astrology. If they're kind of into it, I'm going to go half and half. But after that, I don't even like. I personally don't even like questions till halfway or the end because I want to channel. So I just like want to prove to them that I know what's going on without knowing who you are, knowing your life, and only knowing what's in your charts. So I just straight up go bang into what the guides are guiding me to talk about in the chart, which is usually what's being hit the most in the chart, whether it's solar arcs or progressions combined with transits to a certain position in their chart. Maybe it's the ruler of their chart. Maybe it's the ruler of this house while this house is being in. Who knows? And then starting to build the story and then building their past life story and their regression and where they were at, building their strengths, building what's coming up. Maybe they're in a great place in their life, maybe in the worst place ever. But I'm always about knowing how to get you to the place inside that you want to hear, that you truly know is in your soul to get to that place, what that timing's like, how you're going to get there, what to do in between the things to work on, how to totally know that this is not good in your life or that this is good. The positives, the negatives. I just go through the whole thing. Like, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna go. There's a lot of questions. I answered a lot today. We did some fun tarot readings, but I don't know about the tarot reading thing. So I was actually gonna say that me and the Peace Dealer were thinking about doing a live super chat sometime in the next couple weeks, together and pulling cards. But if we did it, we would like set a certain number of what to pay for, and we would do a reading together with everybody. So there's a lot of new shit coming out, though. I know people are pissed about deep astrology, but to be honest with you all, there's going to be 3 new shows I'm putting out on YouTube a week, like, and daily, some of them, and weekly, and still astrology is always going to be there. My new and my full moon reports are always on YouTube. I'm always with there. My spiritual dance music new and full moon series are always on there. I'm starting a whole new astrology podcast and video show that's not mainly horoscope based, but more just about astrology and astrology stuff. Because I'm moving everything to Future Life or horoscope. Like, YouTube is YouTube. Like, it is not, it is cheapening horoscopes. There's so many frauds out there. And I'm just done. That's why I created 4 years ago a horoscope network. And that's what it is. I'm the only horoscope video network in the world. YouTube is not a horoscope network. It is connected with people who talk about crazy dark shit and all these other things. It is not sovereign. And I know that people don't understand that because they look at it, YouTube as this great, amazing place, which I think it is. But if you want a sovereign horoscope where only sovereign and positive people and light energy is on the app and on the website, that's it. That means when you go there, it's truly connected. But YouTube, I hate to say, it can take you into a dark place in 1 minute, like gnarly. So, but anyway, Deep Astrology will be there for another week on YouTube. So, I mean, another month. So another 4 episodes or whatever. And then I'm moving it after the retrograde to Mercury. So actually might be into December. So there might be another couple months there. I'm not just pulling it out on you guys. The magazine comes out October 30th, which for the late people, yeah. This is your guide. Plus, this will give you everything about your own sun sign and politics and everything and the whole 9 yards. So that comes out at every Walmart, Barnes & Noble, blah, 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 grocery store. And then it will be available online for people not in America and Canada. There's a digital version too, which I'll be posting links about. So, anyway, love you all. Talk to you later. That was a 2-hour live. Talk to you guys later. Love you. Thank you much. Talk to you later. Bye.